guys, welcome back to another makeup video. Today we're doing a spring inspired eyeshadow. So this is inspired by a picture I found on Pinterest, which I'll put in that I have of it here. But I believe this is Zara Larsson inspired, as everyone's seen the trend going around, but I just thought that this was such a nice eyeshadow, and it's about to be Easter bank holiday weekend, so I thought I'd do something spring themed. So we're going in with the yellows and the pinks today, and yeah, this is going to be a voiceover video, so I'll see you for the outro. I'm just starting out by concealing under my brows, which I already filled in. I just didn't show you because it's pretty boring, but I'm just taking my Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the usual shade that I normally show you, and just concealing the underneath of my brows. Just making sure to blend that into the eye so it looks more like skin and it sits perfectly on the skin rather than just streaky. And this is more of a base for the eyeshadow where it's all over the eye, so it doubles in that aspect. Before I go in with eyeshadow, I'm just putting on this e.l.f. Power Grip Primer so that it has time to settle into my skin while we do the eyes, ready for skin makeup later on. For the eyeshadows, I'm just taking my Beauty Bay Bright Mattes palette, and these are the shades 2-2 and Make Them Wink. So I'm just starting out by taking that 2-2 lighter pink shade and a small fluffy brush, and we're basically just blending this into the eye above the crease, starting from the inner eye and then creating a wing on the outer bit. And I just want this to be seamlessly blended and quite a nice light baby pink. And just blending that up into the brow, making sure it's blended, and then going in with the darker shade, Make Them Wink. We're basically just following that same pattern but keeping it more central rather than blending that out. We still want the light pink on the edges, so that's what I'm doing here. I'm just blending the two colours together to get a nice brighter pink. And then I'm just taking my Made by Mitchell colour case, and this is the shade Banana Smoothie, and it's just a pastel yellow, as you can see. And then taking a flat brush, I'm basically just cutting my crease. Just making sure to get a nice crisp line and a solid colour on the lid of the eye. And I just softly moved that towards the outer area of the eye and then went back over the edge of the pink to seamlessly blend it in. And I just decided to go in under the brow as well with a tiny bit of that yellow product because that's what we see in the inspiration photo. I just think it adds a nice contrast between the two colours because they're almost layered. And then here I'm showing you the darker shade of pink that I'm going in with an angle brush. This is the shade Dragon Fruit from the same palette. And we're basically just doing eyeliner with this, which can be quite difficult as a powder eyeshadow, but we just build the colour up and it's fine. And I do also decide to wet the brush with a bit of setting spray to get more of a finer wet look with the eyeshadow. There is a product that you can get where you mix it with powder and it creates it a liquid, but we weren't bothering with that. And then I'm taking these face and body gems from Revolution. I got these in an advent calendar, I think. You don't need Revolution gems, you can just get them anywhere, but this is a pretty packet and I thought it was perfect because they're pre-adhesived than sticking on my own gems, so I thought I'd make use of them since as they're lying around. And then I just alternated between pink and silver gems, as you can see, and then just going in with the same technique on the other eye, blending the pink out and adding the darker pink as well to create some contrast. Just making sure that the yellow cut crease is symmetrical on both sides so that we look nice and symmetrical all over. And then back in with the eyeliner. We're sort of creating like a cat eye eyeliner, as you can see. We drag it in to the inner eye and then create a little cat eye point in the inner corner of the eye. And just making sure that product is all blended. And then back in with the gems, and here I literally am copying the exact placement from the other eye for these gems, because like I just said, I want it to be very symmetrical. There are certain looks that you can have asymmetrical, but you want them to look purposely asymmetrical and opposites, whereas this one I thought would be effective if they were the exact same. And then just going in and curling my lashes, ready for mascara. The mascara I'm using is the Max Stack Black Mascara. This isn't a waterproof mascara, which I should invest in a waterproof one, because it would definitely hold the curl of my lashes better, but this is just the normal one. And I'm just going in on my upper lashes for now, till we've done the under eye makeup after skin to do the bottom lashes. And then if you want to see how I do my skin, I've done that over on TikTok. And then we're just back to the under eyes. So we're going in with those two same shades that we used earlier on the upper lid. And we're starting with that pink on the outer edge. And we're basically replicating the same pattern on the bottom of the eyelid as the top. So then we're going in with that yellow as well on the inner corner and the underneath. This was quite hard to get on the under eye because it's more loose skin than a solid eyelid. But we got it on there in the end. And just carving out that cat eye again with that product whilst we can. May as well do it if we're putting the product there anyway. And I'm just trying to make the waterline a bit darker using that dark pink that we used for the eyeliner, which is quite difficult because it is a powder eyeshadow. But I wanted something there, and then just going back in on the lower lashes with some under eye mascara. And then lips are done. This is the finished makeup, so I'll just show you some clips of the finished result now. So guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really hope you enjoyed this makeup look, and I hope you all have a lovely bank holiday Easter weekend. And yeah, I will see you guys back here next week for another makeup video. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.